Very good morning, students. Today's our topic is blotting techniques. We are in the middle of molecular biology. So we have already completed the process, protein synthesis, gene expression. So everything we have completed, and now we are in the middle of the techniques. Already last class we have completed the PCR. Now in this class we are going to discuss about the blotting techniques. So what is blotting? This is actually these techniques are widely used for analytical tool for a specific identification of desired DNA or RNA or protein from a thousands of molecules. Out of that, we are going to identify particular compound, particular either DNA, either RNA or protein. Depends on what the blotting we are doing. So that we are going to discuss in detail. To say it is a simpler form, the molecular technique transfer DNA or RNA or a protein into a carrier membrane for visualization and quantification purpose. Simple. Okay, it is a technique to transfer the DNA or the RNA or the protein to a carrier membrane. What is that membrane? We will discuss later. So for visualization purpose, this technique is going to do that only. So what is that? In detail, in depth, we will discuss. So objectives of today's topic is explain the procedure of various blotting techniques and add a note on its clinical applications. So this is also same like other techniques, may be asked as a short note to total together, the complete technique together, or may be asked as a very short note only the clinical applications, or maybe individual blotting technique like either maybe a western blot or southern blot or northern blot may be also asked. Okay, right. So before entering into the topic, just overview what we are going to discuss today: the types of blotting techniques, and introduction and history, principle, procedure, advantages and disadvantages, applications, summary, reference, and finally the assignment we are going to discuss in detail. Introduction. So blotting is a technique in which nucleic acids, either DNA or maybe RNA or maybe proteins, are immobilized onto a solid support. The support may be a nitrocellulose paper or a nylon membrane. So it is a support. Okay. Next, it forms the basis of various experimental studies involving gene expression, organization, and identification of mutant gene, protein expression inside the cell, analysis and recombinant protein in that is synthesized in vitro. Any protein that has, if at all it is synthesized, what was the structure and how it is. So that also can be analyzed by these techniques. So types of blotting. Southern blot, it is used to detect the DNA. Northern blot, it is used to detect the RNA. Western blot, where it is used for detection of protein. First, we will discuss about the southern blotting. Already I have told southern is for the DNA. Okay, right. So southern blot, it is a routinely used molecular biology technique for detection of specific DNA sequence, in a large complex sample DNA, like complete DNA in a large DNA. Out of that, whether your particular targeted sequence, whether it is there or not, whether you are going to whether what you are searching is that DNA, a complementary copy which you are going to use as a probe, that is there available in this DNA, the complementary DNA is there or not, that we are going to identify. Right. First, it was identified by the Professor Sir Edwin Sutherland He's a professor of biochemistry, and he and his fellow colleagues have been developed this method in 1975. The technique is named after its inventors, E.M. Sutherland. So it is Sutherland blot, and it is a key to this method is hybridization. So what is hybridization? It is a process forming a double strand molecule between a single strand DNA probe and single strand target. A target means a patient or maybe whichever you want to know, target, that is a DNA. So what in a simpler form, hybridization means like you're going to prepare a probe which is complementary to the DNA sequence, complementary to the DNA sequence that which you want to know. Okay, that is used as a probe, and after introducing that probe, so that probe will be going, first what we are going to separate the DNA strand, and then this probe will be going to complementary, where and all it is complementary probe is being uh, used, and this probe will go and bind to that particular area, particular DNA sequence. So with that we are going to identify whether whatever you are searching for, that particular DNA is available, that sequence is there or not. Okay, so hybridization, this is completely based on the hybridization process. Hybridization means forming a double strand DNA between a single strand DNA probe and single strand target DNA molecule. Principle: this method combines the technique of gel electrophoresis separation of DNA. First, what we are going to do, we are going to, whatever the target DNA, we are going to separate. We are going to separate the DNA and transfer this separated fragments into a membrane. That is a blotting, is that we are going to transfer that. After that, we are going to hybridization by the probes. Probes means the complementary copy. So the complementary copy which you are going to identify, that you have that the sequence, so that we are going to prepare the hybridization process. Through the hybridization process, this will go and bind to that as a complementary sequence. It is going and bind to that particular target DNA, and then this will be since your probe is already been labeled, so we are going to detect by the autoradiography. Next procedure, a Western blot. First, DNA digestion. DNA to be analyzed is digested. So first we have taken the long length of DNA in the sample, and we are adding the endonuclease, restriction endonuclease, which can trim, which can cut the DNA into the particular sites, so particular thread. So whenever, wherever, where and all it has been broken, so automatically there will be a large and smaller pieces. It has been divided, it has been cutted into so many pieces, so that it has been cleaved by this restriction endonuclease and into a smaller fragment, small, medium, large fragment, depends on where and all the restriction endonuclease that trim that one, automatically it forms a various number of pieces. Then this gel electrophoresis, DNA fragments are separated by electrophoresis based on their size. So larger will migrate very slowly, it won't move such a faster, where the smaller one will fast migrate very quickly. So you can see the picture, in the picture it can be observed. With the help of the restriction endonuclease, first it was digested, it has been broken, and various larger, medium and smaller pieces has been trimmed, and fragments have been formed, and these fragments in the gel electrophoresis, it is been moving with the various denaturation. So place this gel into a alkaline solution. Why? Because in result in the denaturation of the double strand DNA to single strand. Why this we have to separate this DNA strand? Because since we have already discussed, like we have prepared a probe which is complementary to the target DNA which you want to identify. So if when it is double strand, it is not going to bind at all. So when you have separated the strand, there it can be bounded. So then only it can be goes unbound to the particular complementary copy of that particular target DNA. So that is a basic mechanism behind this. Okay, next, plotting. Now it is separated. Now the blotting, the DNA fragments are gel, DNA fragments from the gel are transferred to a membrane so that DNA bound to it exactly the same pattern as through originally on the gel. So what it has to be? Now it has to be blotted, means it has to be transferred, because gel it is not suitable for further process. So it has to be transferred to a particular paper or particular sheet is a blotting membrane, that is called as a blotting membrane. So this blotting membranes, what are the blotting membranes can be used in this? Here the nitrocellulose membrane or nylon membrane can be used. Nitrocellulose, what are the advantages? And both, it is cheaper and it is fragile, non-covalent bonding, no pre-soaking with methanol is required. It doesn't require any soaking because immediately it can be used, directly it can be used, and it is not a fragile one, and it is cheaper and non-covalent. Next one, nylon membrane. This also can be used, but it is less fragile, easy to handle, and covalent attachment. Background staining may be higher than the nitrocellulose. Okay, background staining, it is having higher than nitrocellulose. So either anything can be used, depends on. So transfer method, how it is transferred. So it is a most popular, simple, reliable filter paper. Gel membrane, paper, towels are soaked upon on each other. So weights are placed on it on the top. So what is happening? Just you can observe the picture. So they have taken a support, plastic support over here, and a buffer. Why, buffer has to like while it is moving through the micropores and all, so passing through the gel as well as the nitrocellulose paper, so automatically the gene, so that DNA will be transferred to the nylon membrane. Okay, that will be transferred to that, okay, which is on agarose gel in the same format. Okay, so that is the reason why it is required. So support, filter paper, and nylon membrane, and immediately agarose gel, and immediately upon that nylon membrane, because this has to be transferred. This has to be transferred. Whatever the has been separated DNA, it has to be transferred to the nylon membrane. So upon that, filter papers and absorbent papers has been kept, and weight also has been kept. Why the weight? No, because so whenever the weight is there, automatically the it will increase the absorption capacity. Like pores will be there, micro pores and all. Through the micro pores it will started, because absorbent papers were there, so it will the buffer will be grabbed. So automatically with the force, such a force it will go, so that it is the nylon membrane, whatever it is on the agarose gel, it will be shifted to the nylon membrane. High salt transfer buffers are used because to move very fastly. So DNA molecules are drawn from the gel to the membrane by capillary action. There is a capillary action being created when they have kept the high weight, as well as it is the filter papers are there, automatically absorbents are there, so it will try to grab the solutions automatically. So overnight maintenance of the setup is required for the efficient transfer of membrane. So overnight when you kept that, now automatically it is easy to transfer, and in the morning you can observe. Hybridization with probe. Now it has been shifted to the nylon sheet. So then incubate the membrane with the radioactive labeled single strand DNA probe. Why radioactive labeled single strand DNA? Because to visualize the compound, for the visualization purpose, it has to be radio labeled, and it will be given. So if at all in that particular DNA, the single strand DNA, if it is complementary, automatically it will go and bind to that particular area. You can observe in the picture. The probe sequence is complementary to the target DNA of interest, because you know that which you are going to identify. So you are preparing the probe in the complementary pattern. So incubate under the renaturation temperature for the probe to anneal to target sequence. So you have to incubate under renaturation, because it has to bond and it has to form the bonding, that you know, hydrogen bondings, A and T will have the double bond, G and C will have the triple bond. That bonding formation annealing for the target has been bonded. Now what we have to do? Auto radiography for visualization, because see, now you have everything is over. Now only the thing you have to observe, you have to visualize a particular compound, whether your target DNA is there or not. How we are going to do that? With the help of this probe, which is radio labeled. After washing off the excess unbounded probes, so target sequence are detected by autoradiography when X-ray plate is exposed. So you can observe there is a particularly exposed when it is X-ray has been exposed, so automatically you can observe the radioactive probes. It is being visualized. So overall, just a overview. First, what we have done, we have taken the sample, we have added the restriction enzyme, because it has to cut the particular DNA into the smaller, and whatever the fragment, it will have a particular site to where it has to be break the particular DNA strand. So it is going to break into the smaller fragments. Okay, the enzyme is added to a solution containing the DNA of interest. The next, what happened, the resulting fragments are separated by size by the gel electrophoresis. Second, what we have done, we have run the gel electrophoresis, so automatically it has been separated, depends based on the size. Next, afterwards, what we have to do, whatever it is there on the gel, it has to be transferred to the membrane, nylon membrane, for the further process. So third step, after the electrophoresis, the DNA fragments in the gel are denatured and then transferred to blotted or blotting paper into the filter paper. Next, fourth one, after blotting, the filter papers is removed, right? Whatever blotting, it has gone to the membrane, nylon membrane, so automatically it has to be removed. Next, the filter paper is placed into the plastic bag containing a solution with the single strand labeled probe, which was complementary. Already watch interest one, whatever the target one, so it is already, we have been prepared the probe with the complementary sequence. So single strand labeled probe, and the probe sticks to the complementary fragments by hybridization. These bonds are not visible at this stage. Yes, unless we are going to visualization purpose, what we have to do, we have to go for like radioactive substances. Now we have to go for X-ray. So X-ray film, either light or radioactive emissions. So when we are exposed to that, automatically it will visualize the particular bands. So to visualize the position of bonds where the probes hybridize, the filter paper is exposed to the X-ray film, and either light or radioactive emission darken the film over the each band. So the complete Southern blot. And advantages: effective way to detect the specific sequence of the DNA in a large sample, used to quantify the amount of DNA present, cheaper than the DNA sequencing. And disadvantages are time consuming, because overnight you have to soak, so then only it is easily. There are other methods, advanced methods have come, but anyway, this is and require large amount of targeted DNA, because then only the restriction endonuclease will work out on, it will be separated. Okay, next one, complex and labor. Okay, see, complex and labor intensive, so it will be taking like people has to work, so it will take this one. Those are the disadvantages. Applications: used for the identification of specific sequence in a sample, used to identify specific mutation, or in RFLP, right? Example also has been given, sickle cell mutations. Like we have seen that sickle cell mutation, what happened, there is a glutamate is replaced by the valine, so in that also phenylketonuria, viral DNA, hepatitis B and C virus, so these all can be identified. And to identify abnormal allele that can't be amplified by the PCR technique due to the large gene size or the high GC content, so that can be done here. Fragile X syndrome. So these things are the applications advantages with Western Southern blot. Sorry. Okay. In gene discovery and mapping also been useful to identify the deletion, duplications, and gene rearrangements can be. In a forensic, it is used for the DNA fingerprinting, for parental disputes, sex determination, personal identification. In the various forensic, no, there are so many cases it can be used. Now come to the second one, northern blotting. So already we have seen southern is for DNA, northern is for RNA, and western is for protein. Okay, technique for detection of the specific RNA sequence to the study gene expression, developed by James Alvin and George Strake in 1979. Principle, it is same plotting, almost all the blottings are similar to the southern blotting, involves in the use of the electrophoresis per separation of RNA sample by size, transfer into the membrane, and detection by the hybridization probe complementary to the target sequence of RNA. Same almost, but here what is going to identify the RNA. RNA digestion with RNase is optional. So electrophoresis, formamide buffers are used, and membrane transfer, amino benzyl oxymethyl membrane can be used for good binding. So there we have used the nitrocellulose. So here we can use the amino benzyl oxymethyl membrane transfer. Hybridization with probe, membrane is hybridized with the labeled RNA probe or cDNA probe. It can be used. Detection by autoradiography. Same thing. So sample we have collected from the cell which you want to the interest. So RNA extracted, you are extracted the RNA and then run the electrophoresis. RNA is separated, then Norton blotting, transfer the RNA to the membrane. RNA fixed to the membrane with UV, ultraviolet or heat. The membrane hybridizes with the labeled probes. Now labeled probes have been added. So label probes will go and bind to the particular wherever the it is available, particular target RNA is available, which go and bind. Visualization of the labeled RNA on the X-ray film. So this is the total process. Application: study of gene expression at the level of mRNA, used to show overexpression of the oncogene and downregulation of the tumor suppressor gene in a cancer cell. Detection of mRNA transcript size, study of RNA splicing, study of RNA half-life. So next come to the last one, Western blotting, technique used for detection of specific protein in a given sample by using labeled antibodies. Here you have to remember what we are using is, here it is the here we are going to those are nucleic acid, that is fine, well and fine, but here we are going to identify the specific proteins in a given sample by using labeled antibodies. So developed by Neil Bernstein in 1981, also known as immunoblotting. So this is also known as blotting. Principle: technique involves in the separation of proteins on a gel electrophoresis. The pattern is similar to similar like other two, and they're transferred to the membrane for detection by using labeled antibodies. Here we are using the antibodies. Procedure: sample is run in the gel electrophoresis. Separated fragments are stained with the protein solution. Separated fragments are transferred onto the membrane. So nitrocellulose or nylon by electroblotting. So what is electroblotting? Electro by means which current, so which they are using the power. So sandwich of the gel and the membrane is buffered between two parallel electrodes. You can observe in the picture. Current is passed at the right angle, resulting in transferring the separated proteins onto the membrane. You can observe it has been transferred. Blot is incubated in a solution of anti-serum. So here our this one probe, there we have used as a probe. Here we are using the anti-serum primary antibody. First we have used the primary antibody. Why I am saying primary means there is one more secondary also will follow, right? Okay, blot incubated in a solution of anti-serum primary antibody, okay, directed against the protein of interest. So this is it will go and bind only the particular protein which is target protein which we are going to which we have of interest. So antibody react with this antigen. Only the bond containing protein interest will bind with the antibody, forming a layer. You can observe in the picture. So denatured protein, unfolded form, and then the primary antibody has been bound on it. Next, after several washes, because we have to remove the excess one, or else now it is also cause some problem. So it will give the false positive. So we have to remove the excess one. The several washes, the remove the unbounded antibody has to be removed. So unbounded antibody which has been removed. Now incubated. Now the blot is incubated with the secondary antibody. So now the secondary antibody has come. This is directed against the primary antibody. So here we will let a simple form. You can write AB1 and AB2, antibody 1, antibody 2. Antibody 2 is labeled with the visualized protein. So AB1 AB2 complex has been formed. So this antibody 2 is labeled, so it is easy to visualization purpose. So same blotting paper, SDS page. So membrane it is transferred, blotting paper it is transferred to the paper, and after this addition of the primary antibody, addition of next secondary antibody, and in between there are washes are there. Okay, anyway, so labeled secondary was the labeled, so added, and then by visualizing, so addition of the compound, so automatically it will visual detection how it can be. So there are many methods out of that which are little important. I am going to discuss over here only. So enzyme labeled antibody, autoradiography we have seen in the first two. Chemiluminescent method that also can be used, fluorescence label. So whichever is easy, whichever is easy to diagnose, that can be used. So most probably other than protein, the colorimetric will not be used maximum in the southern blot. Northern blot is used the fluorescent or chemiluminescence or radio labeled substance, maximum P32 can be used. So these substances only can be used. In case of western blot, the colorimetric substance can be used. So antigen sample, separated proteins, and then blotting tongue, how it is labeled, and first primary antibody, then labeled antibodies has been added, immuno staining blot, and it is fixed, and auto radiography, and it can be bonds application. The confirmatory HIV test employ Western blot to detect anti-HIV antibody in the human sample. Viruses enveloped by different proteins. Western blotting helps to detect of these proteins. Identification of the test: bovine spongiform encephalopathy, mad cow disease, that is also been identified by this. Okay, and some forms of the Lyme diseases is employed with the Western blotting. But limitations is time consuming process. It is very expensive because primary and secondary antibody, labeled antibody, so many things that has to be right. If the protein denatured quickly, the Western blot cannot detect it well. It cannot be, once it is denatured, it cannot be degraded, it cannot be used. Insufficient transfer result in the abnormal batch. So limitations. And one more dot blot, similar technique that bypasses the electrophoresis separation step known as dot blot. Sample to be detected directly applied on the membrane as a dot and dried. The membrane is then exposed to the labeled probe by hybridization. This can be used for the DNA and RNA and detection through the So advantages: time saving, cheaper than the blotting, and disadvantages is only quantitative test. Sorry, only qualitative. I'm sorry, it's only qualitative test. Summary. So already we have discussed in detail. So DNA, southern blot; RNA, northern blot; western blot is for protein. So here what we are in the southern blot, what we have used: restriction endonuclease, then separated. Restriction endonuclease, it is separated, electrophoricized, gel electrophoricized, and then the probe, labeled probe, has been, which is complementary of DNA to separation that separated, which complementary, and it is boson point, and then visualization, so radiography. Next, northern also similar, same thing, labeled, and it will go and bind to the specific sequence automatically, visualization. Western blot also same thing. Here we are using the acrylamide gel, okay, primary antibody specific for particular protein which you want to identify. So then uses the secondary antibody for detection and amplifying the primary one to detect visualization purpose, then identify. So this is about the summary and the technique of transfer. It is simply to known as technique as transfer. Different types based on the type of macro molecules transferred, which are whether it is a DNA or RNA or protein. So blotting membranes. Labeled probes are for hybridization, radioisotopes and non-radioisotopes detection. Application in the field of genetics, clinical and medicine. So these are the references textbooks. Thank you. Assignment is the same, whatever the question which I have shown in the hello. Yeah, question is the same thing. Assignment is similar. What I have